What's going on YouTube? It's Tyler from Mission VR, where it's my mission to bring you guys a good quality VR content. Sorry I've been a little bit MIA the last week or so. I wanted to post more videos, but I did just get a new puppy, and she's been a handful, but nothing we didn't expect, as puppies typically are. But today I do want to finally go over and do a Medal of Honor Above and Beyond review, because this game is getting treated horribly right now within the VR community, and that needs to be fixed ASAP. So this is going to be a very honest review. I'm going to talk about all the good things, all the bad things, and I'm going to give you guys my final verdict of this game. And I think you guys are going to like it, because it's definitely different than what a lot of the community is saying. With that being said, guys, I'm closing in on 4,000 subscribers. I'm hoping to get there by the end of December. I don't know if I'm going to reach that milestone or not by then, but make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to my channel for more VR related content. I'm doing a ton of stuff, whether it's Quest, PC VR, I do it all. I'm a VR enthusiast. And also, make sure you guys join my Discord server. That's where you guys get channel alerts. And I do a lot of giveaways in the Discord as well. And I'll probably be doing one for the new year at some point. So definitely join the Discord server. Like I said, there's a lot of players in it. There's a lot of places to get giveaways, free games, and just, good things going on there as a VR community. So make sure you guys check that out. Like this video, subscribe to my channel. Let's hop on into this review. Alright guys, so first up, as you guys know, I like to start with content. What are you actually getting in the game? Is it worth the price you're paying for it? And this game is pricey. This is a full $60 AAA title price tag on this game. So are you going to have enough content to justify that price tag? And a lot of people immediately right out of the gate are going to say absolutely not. But that's because they didn't even give the game a chance to shine. And I think that's really frustrating. When I was reading the initial Steam reviews and it was mostly negative and all these people refunded right out of the gate, they didn't even give the game a chance. And yes, 100%, the early first 2 hours of the game's campaign is pretty slow. And it plays a little bit more like a cinematic movie experience with some gameplay. And, for me, I was like, okay, I was a little bit worried that the whole game was going to be just these little short, experiences that you're just kind of a character involved in a movie, and you're doing a couple things, whether it's shooting one or two people or, this, and you're just along for the journey. I was nervous about that. But then I let the game have a chance to prove itself to me, and it was not that. It was a full Medal of Honor experience, and there was about 10 hours worth of campaign gameplay, and it's kind of the first game where we've gotten a full-blown campaign in a shooter setting of its type. And I really enjoyed the campaign. Honestly, it was a good amount of content. It really was. I would love if there would have been more, just because I was enjoying it so much. And that's really, I guess, a complaint, but not really a complaint, if that makes sense. I was enjoying it much, and I would have liked to see a little bit more from the campaign. And when it comes to the campaign itself, you do take part in some missions where you are involved in the actual war side of things, but most of the missions you're going to be doing is going to be like secret special agent stuff when you're, working with the Resistance and the OSS, and they're really fun. It's an enjoyable time, but you do have a couple missions where you actually partake in major events that happened during World War II, which I would have liked for one more mission to be focused around, maybe the Battle of the Bulge or something towards the end of the campaign. So definitely something that would have been nice to see, but overall, absolutely no complaints. The campaign was excellent. I enjoyed it. The story was very cheesy, and the characters themselves were definitely cheesy, but it was nothing that I was upset about. Could I have used a gritty World War II shooter? Absolutely, I would have loved to see that, but I think this game wasn't going for that, and it didn't need to. The campaign was serviceable, it was fun, and it took you on a ride, and believe me, it had all kinds of levels, everything you would expect from a thriller shooter. You were on trains, you were on trucks, you were flying in planes, you were jumping out of planes, you were in tanks. I mean, everything you could have wanted from a World War II shooter was available with this game, and I think that it's overall just a really, really enjoyable and pleasurable experience. For $60, again, if all you're planning on doing is playing the campaign, I do have to say that I think that, there's something to be said there. It's, again, a little bit pricey, but on top of that, $60, you're also going to get a multiplayer, and you're going to get a survival game mode. So there's more content than just the campaign in this game. And unfortunately right now, with I think the negative reviews, it's kind of stifled the multiplayer a little bit because there's not as many people online. But I'm hoping that this review is able to change that, because there is a lot to be said and a lot of content already in this game.
remember my rules. Keep my head down and do what you say. You got it.
Won't be long now. Focus, boys. So the rich boys come out hard. Nice work, nice work. Let's go, let's go. All right. Get in, explode.
Excellent work, Lieutenant. They're hitting us from our 3 o'clock. Operation Hurricane is officially underway. But we're not going in alone. There's Captain Dobby and his team. They're covering our flank. Keep shooting. All the civilians have moved out, so everything is a viable target. Enemy Panzer sighted. Knock them out, Lieutenant.
Okay, so with the sound design of this game, really no major complaints here. I also don't think it was incredible by any stretch of imagination. It gets the job done. You stay immersed. Some of the guns, I think, are a little bit weak or sound similar to each other, particularly on the German side of things. You know, the MP40 and the MG34 actually sound kind of similar, but again, nothing majorly immersion breaking, nothing that's going to take you out of the game. The gun sounds aren't super loud, but they're loud enough. They don't need to be anything more than that. And on top of that, the overall atmospheric sound design, especially, you know, in some of the levels where you're fighting in the major battles of the war, you know, in the invasion of Normandy, I mean, the surrounding ambiance of gunfire and, you know, explosions is awesome. It is excellent. I think that it's a highlight, actually, some of the ambiance sounds where you do feel like you're actually in a major battle, and I really enjoyed that. Now, where the sound design definitely suffered a little bit, and I think that the overall game suffered just a little bit, was with the soundtrack itself. I wasn't a huge fan of the soundtrack. I didn't think, especially, there were certain moments where it just didn't feel like it fit the scene, and I think that was more telling than anything. And in particular, like Omaha Beach, there's a level where you go and you storm Omaha Beach, which is something that I'm sure everybody wanted to do in VR, right? Well, the soundtrack and the music it didn't fit. It was like almost like a heroic undertaking, and for me, it was just like, this should be more like dramatic, like suspenseful, like we have no idea if we're going to survive this, and it just didn't feel that way. And I thought there was a couple other levels in the game that also felt kind of a similar vibe when it came to the soundtrack. I felt like the soundtrack was a little bit weak in this game, but again, nothing that would be justified me saying absolutely do not, you know, you're going to hate this game, you're going to hate this game. I think that that's ridiculous, and the soundtrack is, yes, a minor thing, but also something that I think we need to talk about. So when it comes to the graphics of this game, this was an area where a lot of people kind of were upset about, and I don't know why they were expecting, you know, the next coming of the best graphics we've ever seen in VR, because the game's graphics are good. I have no problem with the graphics. I didn't notice a ton of screen door effect in the game. Yeah, obviously at the distances and some of the levels, but the levels are designed in a way that you're not going to be peering at significantly long distances, and all the atmospheres just feel really good. Could the graphics have been a little bit better? Sure, I guess they could have been. I mean, they're not Half-Life Alyx graphics, but that being said, the graphics are very serviceable. I never at one time felt like I wasn't immersed, and in fact, there were moments where I felt really, really immersed into the game. So I really enjoyed the graphics. I thought that they did a fine job. There was no complaints from me on that end, and there was definitely some special moments where I could really see the graphical engine shining. You know, one in particular when I'm under a bridge and the Germans are walking on top of the bridge, and you can see the light rays from the sun coming through the cracks of the bridge. Just a really small, subtle detail that I really enjoyed and thought was, wow, that makes me feel more immersed into this universe. Alright guys, and with our pros versus cons section here, I do want to start with the cons, because there definitely is some problems in this game, and it's not all, you know, peaches and sunshine. There are some issues that I had with the game, but again, none of them are major problems. And the first one was being just a little thing, reloading the magazines. They don't stick to the guns. You kind of just have to put it near where you would put the magazine in and then let go of the grip button. Definitely felt this was a step back from other VR shooters. They could have allowed us to slam that mag in there, you know, something small like that. Also, on top of that, you have to charge the gun every single time you reload it, even if you know you have a round in the chamber, which is something that, again, a small thing, but you know, it didn't take away from the overall gameplay. Definitely the cutscenes at times, you know, when you're playing through the campaign in the first run, it's fine, and you're going to want to do those cutscenes, but like when you go and replay some levels, you might not always want to sit there through a cutscene, and it'd be nice that after you beat a level, if you could skip the cutscenes, which you still can't do. But again, it's also, the cutscenes aren't a super big problem, so it's not the end of the world. The first hour and a half of this game, again, is really slow. It's something that I think a lot of people thought the whole game was going to be like that, and they immediately refunded it and put a negative review out for it. And that's ridiculous. You got to let the game give it a chance. And honestly, the game's amazing once you get, you know, past the first hour and a half that is really, really slow. The multiplayer. Here's another con for me, and it has nothing to do with the multiplayer itself. It has everything to do with the fact that there's nobody playing right now. You're playing against bots, and the AI is just not that good. Especially in multiplayer, the AI is pretty terrible. And in the campaign, the AI it's serviceable. It's not the best I've ever seen by far. It's certainly, you know, it's certainly on the end of more bad than good, but it gets the job done. You never feel like, wow, that was really bad. Like they're just out there standing there. There's no challenge. There's definitely some challenge in the game. There were several levels that I died a lot trying to get through, which I enjoyed because it made me have to problem solve, and I wasn't just God mode, able to kill everything. One of the other things that I would love if they would add to this game would be some attachments or some progression system, you know, throughout the multiplayer, and I think that would give it some spark and maybe more people, like similar to how like Call of Duty World War II did it. There's definitely some attachments and, you know, some room for the game to grow, so it would be really cool if they were able to do that. And maybe down the line, you know, if they plan on supporting this game post-launch or not, you know, it would be nice to get some more levels, you know, centered around the war, you know, just different things that I would love. I would love to see implemented in this game, and different things like that. Now, since the game has come out, they also have added smooth turning, this is a big pro, which means that they listened right out of the gate. They added smooth turning. They increased the M1 Grand's ping because there was like almost no ping. And like, come on, it's a World War II shooter. The one thing we all want is to hear that ping whenever we unleash the magazine of an M1 Grand. So that's a nice thing. And they definitely removed some of the annoying loading screens. Like you'd have like 3 loading screens before you actually got to the next level before. And they made it pretty streamlined now where you get to the next level pretty fast, which I really enjoyed on the playthrough. And then other pros just in general was just the game itself. I had so much fun playing this game. I really enjoyed it. I'll have 17 hours into it, completed the campaign, replayed much of the campaign, you know, played a little bit of multiplayer, played some survival. I want more. I want more of the game, and I think that's a really telling sign that this is a good game. For, you know, the price tag of $59.99, yeah, it's a bit steep, and I think that they definitely could have maybe made it $40 and got a lot more people involved in it. People wouldn't have felt like they got, you know, railroaded out of a little bit of extra cash, but at the end of the day, at the same time, the VR community needs to lighten up on this game. It's an excellent title. You just have to give it a chance. You just have to get through that first hour and a half of gameplay, and then the game is really an amazing title. It's every bit of enjoyable is what I thought it was going to be, and I think that $40 price tag might have helped a little bit, but I'm not going to tell you that it's not worth it at $60 because I really enjoyed the game and I don't regret buying it at all. So I think you guys will feel the same way. It's going to be a buy for me. Hopefully it comes on sale for the winter holiday sale, and then you guys will even really want to buy it even more, and more players will get involved. But even at the full price tag, if you're looking for a game, you're going to spend at least 10 hours in the campaign playing. This game's going to do you the justice of that, and you're going to really enjoy it. Well guys, that is it for this video. I hope you found my review of Medal of Honor Above and Beyond helpful in your deciding process of whether you're going to buy this game or not. On top of that, make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm bringing a ton of VR content. I'm hoping to bring out one more video before Christmas, so make sure you guys stay tuned to that. Join the Discord server, like this video, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one.